America's cyber vulnerability database might shut down. The U.S. government just cut funding to the CVE system, the thing that helps the world track cyber threats. If you've ever seen the codes like CVE 2024-001, that's part of a U.S.-run system that tracks every major cybersecurity flaw worldwide. The MITRE, the nonprofit that runs it, just said their funding expires on April 16th. That means no new vulnerability IDs, delayed patch coordination, total confusion for security teams and vendors. Even NIST says it's pulling back due to budget cuts. No CVEs equal more chaos, more delays, and slower defense against real-world cyber threats. Toolmakers, researchers, and government agencies depend on it to fight threats in real time. This isn't just a tech issue, it's national defense.
You want to hear the most scary, major breaking news we've had? CVEs will no longer exist today. That is the database for all security of every internet system we use, our banks, everything. Doge cut the funding. We will no longer have any security for our data, for our bank accounts, for our power grids. Nothing, folks. This is a fact. No one's talking about it. Not Aaron Parnes, not Midas Touch. This is the largest national security breach we've had in my lifetime, probably in anyone's lifetime as far as the internet goes. That is scary. All should be tried for treason.
We're screwed. We are screwed. So last night, a news article gets posted that Uncle Sam abruptly turns off the funding for the CVE program. And you might be asking yourself, like, oh, why does this matter? It matters a shit ton. And let me tell you why. If you haven't been following me, I'm Cyber Mama Llama. I'm a cybersecurity professional specializing in vulnerability management. And so therefore, I rely on the CVE program a ton. But so does literally everybody else in cybersecurity. The CVE program is 25 years old. It essentially allows any bugs that are identified and therefore approved as a vulnerability have a common naming convention so that everyone knows what we're all talking about at the end of the day. God bless for our trusty friends CISA, because they came in at the 11th hour and extended the contract with MITRE, who is the organization that basically runs the CVE program, to make sure that there is no gap period on new vulnerabilities being submitted and identified and added to the database, so that every single scanner that utilizes this can inform the clients at the end of the day what vulnerabilities actually exist in their environment.
Earlier today, Monday, April 15th, a letter sent from the MITRE organization to CVE board members was leaked to the public. This letter was sounding the alarm that the contract which funds MITRE to maintain the CVE and CWE services and databases is set to expire on April 16th. The funding for MITRE to maintain these services is actually provided by the U.S. government through both the Department of Homeland Security and CISA. Well, the funding for the CVE and CWE programs comes from the U.S. government. They are used around the world by cybersecurity teams and practitioners on both the offensive and defensive side, and are a pillar of modern cybersecurity. If you're not familiar with CVE, it stands for Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures. This is a catalog and database of known vulnerabilities for software and hardware. When a vulnerability is made public, it's assigned a unique CVE number. In addition to this, it's also given details about the software or hardware that it is linked to and the version of this actual software or hardware that is impacted. Very importantly, it's also given a CVE score, which is a number from 0 to 10 based on the severity of this vulnerability. For example, a vulnerability that very easily allows something like remote code execution would be given a high score, like 9 or 10. The CVE catalog is critical to cybersecurity and IT teams for many reasons. One of the main ones being is that it serves as a central database where they can check versions of software they are using to see if there are known vulnerabilities and whether or not they should patch them. The scoring system also allows them to prioritize which patches should be deployed first and allows them to fix the really critical issues that could lead to breaches. I recorded this video yesterday, however, the situation is very fluid. And now, as of Tuesday, April 16th, it's being reported that CISA has extended funding for the CVE program to continue, at least for now. It's not clear how long this funding will last for, and this isn't all good news because they still are cutting funding to MITRE and not renewing that original contract. This means MITRE is going to have to downsize several hundred positions and cancel some of the services they provide. If your organization somehow relies on the CVE database or CWE database, which honestly it probably does, it's a good time to consider alternatives and what would happen if there is a disruption to this service.